You know what's funny? I was on Bumble, right? And I just I was swiping. And one couple is like, we're looking for another girl. I said, yay, people actually do this. Wow.
I think number one is understanding the person that you're with. It sounds simple, yeah, but a lot of people don't do this, right? Obviously, you might have things that you have in common with someone that you're dating, but at the same time, there are going to be things that you completely on polar opposites about. And I think a lot of times people just focus on the stuff that they are, compatible with, but then they will neglect the things that they're not compatible with, so much to the point where you're so far down the line, and then one day it just comes up as like a crazy conflict. So I think in the initial stages, instead of rushing into stuff, like, it trips me out, like how people move in together so quick, or get married so quick, or have a baby so quick. Like, these are like serious things, yeah, that I think should take at least a few years. Because obviously when you first start dating someone, everyone's on their best behaviour, man. Best foot forward, oh, I'm so this, that. But then slowly, the real them reveals themselves, because you can't keep it going forever, surely. So I think just taking that time to understand who you're really dealing with, and then from there you can make an informed decision as to, oh, yeah, she's crazy, but I can deal with it, or nah, girl, door to the left, no, it's the right, but to the left, you know what I mean? That's one.
Communication, trust, and honesty. Yeah, communication, trust, and honesty. Yeah, that's a strong 3. Do you think? What am I missing?
That's 3. You only asked for 3.
Yeah, no, but what, like, as in, what would you replace? Communication, trust, and honesty. TCH and CTH. Yeah, I said TCH.
Oh, no. They're a good 3, but that wouldn't be my 3.
What's your 3?
I think open dialogue. I think a lot of conversation. I think a lot of times conversations can avoid certain situations just by talking. Me myself, I still do have this bad habit. If I don't like something, I'll just kind of distance myself. Like, I won't even talk about it. I'll just pull away, go completely cold. And then obviously the other person is going to be like, I don't get it. Why is he just ghosting me all of a sudden? But whereas I should just be open and honest and say, look, he did such and such. I don't appreciate that. What do you think about this? And how are we going to resolve this? As opposed to, I just go ghost. Like, I just want to talk to you for like days, even weeks sometimes. So I think open dialogue is key in a relationship. So we've got understanding, open dialogue, and lastly,
I like spending time together and making memories, because that's all you have to show for at the end of like life in general. All we have is our memories, our good times together. So that's one thing like I prioritize.
I'm kind of selfless as a character already. So that person's happiness, their comfortability, finances, definitely.
Second thing, understanding, because why are we together if you can't understand me and I can't understand you? So definitely communication is key. We need to be able to like talk about our feelings and just communicate what's bothering us, and even when we're happy as well, it's good to communicate what's making you happy and things that your partner's doing right in the relationship.
Love, fun, and martial arts. I said love. Yeah, love is a priority. I want to feel loved. I want to have fun. So fun. And the third thing would be kind of like, growing together. You know what I mean? Like I want to be leveling up with someone. I want someone to help me level up, and I also want to help someone else level up. So yeah, that's growth, I guess. That would be.
Growing together, definitely. I feel like in a relationship you need to grow together, emotionally, financially, in every aspect. Learn how to make money together if possible. Teach each other many things, like for example, if he works in finance, you work in law, he can give you financial advice or whatever, things like that. So yeah, grow together emotionally, physically, wagwan.
that's tough, man. What to prioritise? Good food, man. Good food, man. You know, the way to a man's heart is to his stomach. That is true. Yeah. Because, like, you got to think, you're laughing, yeah, but listen, right? If this woman can't cook for you, how's she going to feed your kids, man? Can't live on McDonald's all day, bro. Do you know what I mean? You know, I'm not saying she's got to be like gourmet chef or nothing like that, but it helps, innit?
I hate people who lie constantly, constantly, constantly. Like, people who lie about stupid things. Like, I can't date someone who's just there lying to me all the time. Like, I know, just making dumb excuses. Like, it's so unnecessary. That's the number one deal breaker for me.
Teeth. Teeth.
Deal breaker in a relationship would be really. It's pretty easy for me. If she doesn't laugh at my jokes, then no, probably more like if I can't have fun with her. If I'm not enjoying my life with her, like if she's just like, I don't know, a wet blanket, I guess, and just like doesn't want to have fun, doesn't want to vibe with me. Like I want to have fun. I want to be enjoying my life, and I want to be enjoying my time with her.
Teeth for my Nigerians. In your teeth.
No, I mean, a deal breaker. I think I can I'm pretty easy. I'm pretty easygoing, so I think I can look past a lot of stuff as well. But I can only do that if I'm having fun. Another deal breaker. If she's not rich, if she got no money.
Someone who's selfish. Like, yeah, I think selfish is a big thing, because I'm big on giving, and not having to be like, oh, you owe me back this. It's like, nah, just give freely. So yeah, selfishness, and probably self-centered, prideful. No, not for me.
If your teeth is like this, yeah, it's game. Them teeth that come like this, nah, it's long. Get me? Don't mess with that one. Nah, yeah. Your teeth must be straight. Get me? But yeah, man, teeth.
Oh man, where do I start, man? Pets. Nah, can't be dealing with anyone that likes animals. Cats, dogs, rabbits, hamsters. No sir, man, not happening. That's the number one for me. If you like dogs, nah. Like, yo, you see the house, right? You see the house, Tito? Yeah, no dog hairs, cat hair, nah. And have you noticed people with pets kind of smell a bit different?
They have deep pockets, you know, metaphorically speaking. And literally as well, you know. Then I can put my things in her pockets, my pants are freed up as well. That'd be sweet.
Father God, I cannot tolerate a lazy man. Ooh. Yeah. It's a deal breaker.
Laziness.
It's a deal breaker.
That's it.
I don't like bitchy people, man. Like people that just be talking behind people's backs. Nah, man. Like, if you have an issue, just like say that stuff. Like when I mean talking behind their back, I mean talking like foul about them, but they never say it to them. I hate that with a passion. And I work with a lot of women, so I hear it on a daily, and it just grinds my gears, man.
Like, that's your top. That's your.
Oh, I'm not. Oh, you want me to start from the top?
No, but just one. Like the. What is the main one that you cannot stand?
Cheating.
But you just said laziness.
But you thought I had to. You didn't say one cup. You said, what's a deal breaker? Okay, fine. Sorry. Just one. Never mind. You say deal breaker. Sorry, I thought there was an S there. Never mind. Anywho, back to regular programming. Cheating. Yeah. That's a deal breaker. That's the top one.
Another one, I just hate a whole negative like mindset or state of mind. Like, I'm quite an optimistic person generally, yeah. So when I see someone try and bring negativity my way, I kind of start to resent you like a lot. So, you know, I'm not saying you've got to be happy all the time, but I'm just saying there's a way to deal with things sometimes. And sometimes the problem ain't even as big as you think it is. So, yeah, I'll probably say those three for now.
Okay, you only needed one, but cool.
Did you say? I thought you said three. Oh, my bad. I didn't even read it.
No problem. Right.
Well,
Pets.
Three. I hate pets, man. What? You like pets?
Most people were like, "Oh, if he cheats on me," but pets.
Yeah, nah, no animals, bro.
Truly, probably not at this point. I usually try and make a point of fucking on the second date or third date. But if it's like the girl of my dreams, I gotta imagine she's really, really hot. And like, really like I really like, she's the girl of my dreams. And so it's like, it is really like, I love that kind of like little game that you play where you're like, oh, does she like me and stuff? And like you go on that date and you're like a bit like, you go on that first date and you're like a little bit worried at the end and you're like, you think she likes you and you like maybe do like a kiss on the cheek or something and you're like, oh, you know, that's it. I want to like play that and really drag that out for the, like as long as I can. I'm talking sex on the 10th date with this and then nut in 5 seconds, you know what I mean? Like I really want to drag it out. She's a girl of my dreams, man. She's a girl of my dreams.
No. That's a straight up no, because that's wild. That's a bit too spontaneous.
It depends, you know. Probably not. Ideally not. It just depends how the date goes. Because I think you can tell, initially, who's kind of serious and who's not, yeah. If it's someone like a life partner, I would be skeptical if she gives up the goods on the first date. Because I'm just like, okay, if you've done this for me, who else you done this for? Do you know what I mean? She might not have, but at the same time, you don't know. And a man's ego is fragile, yeah? So, yeah, I don't think it's a good look. In my head, theoretically, like, yeah, sex on the first date, cool. I'm in this. But then you're like, so's my guy. So's the other guy. You know what I mean? It's like, nah, no sex on the first date, ladies. Nah. No matter how, no, don't do it.
Sex clouds judgment, man. And you just have to. I always say this, yeah. Just be true to yourself, innit? Society has made it seem like you're a waste man if you have sex with someone and you catch feelings. That just doesn't make sense. If you're a normal human being and you're sleeping with somebody, someone is inserting themselves and another person is receiving. Yeah, it's giving and receiving. If you are telling me that you can't catch feelings, then I don't know what to say to you. You're not cool. You've got a problem because it's a soul tie. Do you understand? Sex is a physical act. There's also a spiritual act behind that.
In my previous life, I've actually had sex. It wasn't even the first date, but it was like first encounter. I don't normally do this, guys. So if you're trying to, hook up with me, and I don't do that, but I don't know. I just feel like the conversation was so good, and the chemistry was like there, and everything just made sense. So then, yeah, sex was like the next thing, and it was really good.
So if you feel like you're cool because you can sleep with so and so and not catch feelings, I don't know what to say to you. Me personally, I know what I'm like. If I have sex with you, I care about you, if that makes sense. So I would like to stay away from that. I would like to abstain from doing that. Get to know you for some time, if that makes sense, and then make a conscious decision, not an emotional decision. And it just saves both our time, you understand? Rather than one of us getting hurt or confusion, or, you understand? You get me? So.
But I wouldn't have sex on the first date.
Sex on the first date? Question mark? No. I've got morals. We're not doing that. Next question. Next question.
Hell nah. Those are my boys, man. Get it, boys. Nah, yeah, I mean that's stupid. Like it's like I think that really is just the game, People say things. I mean it's kind of like it is a dick move, I'll admit that, but it's like what, you're gonna lock up half the population? Are you kidding? People lie, dude. Like, and it's like I mean they don't even have to be lies. They're sincere compliments. It's like they just have an ulterior motive, or even like it could be like an open sort of motive. It's like if someone's like, yeah, I guess, yeah, it's not, yeah. But still, yeah, no, that shouldn't do time.
When it comes to things like sexual assault, I think of like physical, like physically, sexually assaulting someone, but just being complimenting and being nice to a girl is not sexual assault to me. It's more like manipulation. So yeah.
So you don't think they should be arrested for that?
No, it's like they're manipulating them, and it's like more of a mental thing, like
manipulating.
Yeah, because you're thinking, oh, he wants me, he's being nice to me, but he wants to use you for something else. So he's manipulating that girl. What do you call it then?
What do I call it? There's a reason why your parents tell you not to have sex with someone before you get married, to avoid stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
So I won't call it manipulation. Men lie.
Yep. In the process of lying, they're manipulating the girl. Like, she's thinking...
It's not like she's incompetent to think for herself.
Yeah, she can think for herself. I'm saying if the girl was to go through with it, if this girl was to go through with it, she's just being manipulated. Like, she didn't really think it through.
Manipulated is an ugly word.
So sexual assault.
Let's go back to manipulation. Okay, cool. No. Because when I think of manipulating, it's like you're taking advantage of the fact that, like, you know how people manipulate children?
Mm-hmm.
Like, children can't comprehend certain things.
Yeah.
You're taking advantage of that. Whereas in this case, she knows what's up. Like, she's not dumb.
I would maybe suggest perhaps instead of sending them to prison, maybe a 3-minute timeout in the naughty corner, because obviously you're in freaking kindergarten and you're playing by those like feeling rules, because like you're a child, man. The world hurts, okay?
She's not dumb, but like I feel like girls who go through with stuff like that, clearly they're naive,
Yes.
and due to them being naive, they're being manipulated because any girl who's like very aware of the world will know that this guy is trying to take advantage of me. But those who are there's girls out there who are naive, like they don't see anything wrong with this. Do you know what I mean? Like they don't, and that's just their thought process. And I think that men will take not men like in general, but the type of guy you're describing here would take advantage of a girl who's not so bright. But girls who are bright will see this for what it is. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying all girls are like.
Where's the assault? Like, yeah, it's probably deceitful, but as long as that sex is consensual, I don't really see the assault. You know, as far as I'm concerned, you're just applying your game and seeing if it works. You know, for a desired outcome. Like, I don't see the whole assault thing. You know, I don't know. Some girls might be like, "Oh, he mentally assaulted me," but what's mental assault, man? Unless he's saying like some really foul, derogatory stuff to you, it's not assault, man. You just got played.
Yeah, because I feel like there's so many other girls that will genuinely like you, but you're putting on a false persona just to have sex with them. I think that's kind of creepy and malicious and assaulty. It doesn't have to be physical. I feel like there's a lot of people that think sexual assault is a physical thing, and when I did the course, there's so much emotional things to it, and we forget that it can just be someone manipulating you into thinking that you want sex with them, even though you know they don't want to. Yeah, there's a whole lot of grey areas, but yeah, that's sexual assault.
Wait, what?
There's a whole lot of grey areas.
No, hold on a bit. So you're saying it is sexual assault?
Yeah. Because it's not just a physical forcing yourself on someone, you're manipulating them. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Are they children?
No, but the thing is, people generally don't know that they're being manipulated. I think this is what I'm saying. You guys need to educate yourself. Like, it's not cool to do all these things to try and have sex with someone.
Morally, it's wrong. You're doing the wrong thing. However, there's no way you can tell me, I've told you, oh, you're fine, you're beautiful, I love you, I've lied to you to get you in bed. It's the same as raping you. Yeah. Come on.
It's emotional.
I know.
Yeah, it is.
So I can sue, I don't know, some girl when I was 10 years old who dumped me for emotional trauma.
To be honest, you could.
Yeah,
she could.
Come on.
That's what I mean. We've been told that it has to be the aggressive thing for it to be taken to court. And when you learn about the topic, you'll understand that there's more to it. So.
It is what it is. The game's the game, man. Sounds harsh, but it is what it is, man. You know?
Women who compliment men and are nice to them just because they want to take money from them, I believe should also be arrested.
Do you hear what you're saying?
I'm hearing what I'm saying.
And you actually believe it?
I actually believe that boys
I should be put in jail for hurting your feelings.
Yeah, they should at least give a warning. But you're not hurting someone's feelings, though.
I should what? You what?
No, but it's not. No, wait. Read the question. It says, men who compliment women just to have sex with them. Yeah. Are you not hearing?
Yeah.
That's bad. At least, but she doesn't want that. So, what are you telling me? She doesn't want to have sex with you?
No, she does.
Bit of a sticky one still. Don't really know what you want me to say to that. But there's no force in that question. I don't get any sense of force, if that makes sense. I definitely do believe he has an ulterior motive and there's some kind of deception there, but do we not all deceive in some aspect or area in our lives? Does that make it okay? No. But let's check ourselves before we start pointing the finger. And the funny thing is, yeah, we all say, yeah, we've been hurt, someone's done this to us, someone's done this to that, blah, blah, blah. But check yourself and look at some of the things you've acquired in your life. How did you acquire it? How did you acquire it? And if you know you acquired it with a clean heart, without going through back doors, then cool, no problem. You have every right to talk. But whoever is sinless, cast the first stone.
Okay, it's different because it's like, if it's a general scenario, social gathering, you see it, you genuinely think she's pretty. Okay, yeah, then if she's consenting to you, you know, having sex with her, then that's fine. But I thought you meant in a way where, you know, the girl's not interested, but you've kind of like manipulated the situation where you're like telling her all these things.
Does she agree?
That's what I mean, it's whether she agrees or not. That's the only thing that it's not really.
No. The way you thought the question meant, I'm asking.
Oh, she doesn't agree to have sex.
Oh yeah, I think by all means, throw him in jail.
Men who compliment women and are nice to them just for sex. But how do you know somebody is complimenting you just for sex?
Because after they have sex, they leave.
She'll be arrested. Was it not
No,
consensual?
should he be arrested?
No, it was consensual, wasn't it? Next question. It was consensual, so why should he be arrested? Did you not both agree to have sex? So then why do you want to arrest him? Because you offed your pants and you agreed. Carrie, listen, your ego was bruised, fair enough, but carry on moving. You did not die. Please, next question. No, because it doesn't make sense. Had you been under either duress or, you know, you had no capacity, you're drunk, that's a different scenario. But if you've got capacity and you agree, you consent to having it, and then the next minute he says he doesn't want you, then...
If he's just genuinely being nice and just complimenting her, and she's reciprocating, and she consents, madam, she consents, then yeah, go ahead, do your thing, innit? But if she's like telling you, nah, sorry, I'm not interested, and you're still pursuing, that's a bit assaulty, lad. It's a bit too much. But yeah.
No. You need to remember, tradition is something that has been set in stone and then carried over, copy and pasted over certain years. It doesn't change, it doesn't adapt, if that makes sense. I might be wrong, but that's my knowledge of tradition. And like I said before, tradition stops growth. That's a very narrow way to see men and women. Do you understand? Men are meant to be leaders. Men are meant to be providers. And that's not an egotistic thing or alpha male thing. It's written. It's written in scripture. It's written. You can see it. Even if you're not a Christian, you can see how men are, if that makes sense.
Bro, this one year, yeah, it just gives me headache because there's so much controversial things about it.
Cleaning and cooking is a life skill that everybody should have, so it shouldn't be just left to the woman. I definitely feel like when it comes to a household, it should just be a conversation between you and your partner. Okay, this is what I can do. I can cook. Because some women don't even like cooking. You understand? So it could be the guy that cooks for the house. It doesn't really matter. I feel like all of these things are just down to conversation. I definitely do feel like the guy should be working. That's not really a compromise. Whether it's business, whether it's whatever you want to say it is, I definitely think, like, you know, you're the man. You understand? Things should be covered. You understand? Whoever's under you, your wife, your kids, they should feel safe. You should provide that safety, if that makes sense. But yeah.
I think, yeah, I think every boy and girl should learn how to cook, first and foremost. everyone should, both genders should know how to cook and keep themselves clean, like hygiene, you know, how to clean, stuff like that, like standard chores. Doesn't mean when you get married, a man should always cook and a man should always clean. But it's nice to have a guy who has common sense in the kitchen and who has common sense when it comes to taking care of the house. Like, I'm not trying to be with a child, I'm being with a husband, someone who knows how to take care of himself. Do you know what I mean? Because when we have kids, you're going to still need to partake sometimes, you know what I mean? But no, I feel like as a wife, for me personally, I love my husband so much that I will cook for you because I want you to be fed. You know, I want my kids to be fed. And if I'm at home all the time taking care of kids, I'm not going to make him do 9 to 5 and come home and cook. Like, it's just common courtesy. Just be nice enough to cook for him. Maybe on the weekends, he can cook, you know, because you've been taking care of the kids, you know, and that's not an easy task. Maybe, you know, a cheeky meal will do, here and then, every now and then.
I think, yeah, no, they're definitely not important as long as she still cooks for me, cleans after me. Basically, so what I want to happen is I want her to still do all the women's gender roles, but then also I don't want to work too.
It depends, like, for me personally, I like traditional gender roles, but it depends on the couple. Not every couple is the same, but personally on my own behalf, I do like traditional gender roles, and it's important to me because I was raised around that with like my parents, so I expect the type of guy I'm dating to also have similar values to me.
But now, I think gender roles should stay as it is, but it should not be strict and rigid. You know, if a girl wants to have her own side business, go ahead. But don't forget you still have, you know, responsibilities. I feel like some women will neglect their children just to go and do business. I was like, why did you have kids in the first place? But yeah, that's my answer.
So I'm not saying that she has to go and do the work thing, but I'm just saying she needs to have a lot of money so that either we both don't have to work, or B, if she's not that wealthy, she can work and I can stay at home. No, but like truly, no, they're not important, man. I think it's like that's really dated. That's like that Lobola thing, man. Come on, what are we talking? 1993 over here? Jeez.
That was only 27 years ago.
What are we talking? 1963 or something? What are we talking? 1903 or something over here? That's the one. 1983 or 1893 or something.
I think so. I think nowadays we've kind of got lost. Like, women trying to be like men trying to be like women. And I'm not even talking about like the whole transgender stuff. I just mean like, I think some women feel so empowered to the point where they want to disrespect men and not, you know, treat their men with respect, which I think is just out of line. Because at the end of the day, the man is the head, right? You know, he leads the family. He doesn't even, I'm not even saying in terms of bringing home the most money, because yeah, women can make money too, yeah. Like, I wish my wife would make more money than me, man. All right? Because to me, if she's winning, I'm winning. And vice versa. If I'm winning, she's winning. So that's not an issue for me. But I think in terms of the way women talk to men, the way that whole swagger is, I think, yeah, it's a bit crazy. I think, and I'm not saying a woman needs to be in the kitchen all day. I'm not saying that, because I think we're a bit past that. But at the same time, I think she needs to be in the kitchen at some points, yeah. Just to, I don't want to say this, so not know her place, but know her place.
1893 is the year that I was referencing. What are we in 1893 or something?
Do you know what I mean? You know what, right? And you know, and that goes for men as well, though. A man should be out working, providing, yeah. Not sitting on the couch playing PlayStation. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's just about your role. Just know your place in it.
Wow.
That's gonna cause problems, man. That's gonna cause problems. I didn't even mean it like that. That's the crazy. I didn't even mean it like. I just meant like.
No. Traditional gender roles in a relationship. I don't think I would expect any traditional, because what if it's it's a traditional gender role, however, like it's your weakness and it's my strength as a woman, however, it's a gender role like for the guy. Not necessarily, it doesn't matter. Like it's all about identifying your strength and your weaknesses and then we'll work together. Boom.
I
Problem
told you
solved.
women don't know what they want. Says the woman who was saying, I want someone who's hardworking. I want someone who's lazy. Now she's saying traditional gender roles. Though.
Saka. Hold up.
Next
question. Hold up. What has hardworking to do with gender roles?
Men go to work to provide for the family. Women stay at home, look after the house. Is that important? You just said no. But then you said, you don't want someone who's lazy. So what if his weakness is working?
Maybe lazy, cleaning the house, maybe.
So you just saying, would you date outside your race? Alright.
It is. I feel like with my parents, they don't mind who I bring home as long as they have common sense. But in terms of race and background, they prefer someone who's at least African, Caribbean, maybe not so much Asian, and definitely not white. So yeah, black. We got there in the end. But yeah, black. But my sister married a white man, innit? So
Yes. If you're not West African or if you're not cultured, I can't really do it because there's certain things that I will do and you just won't understand. You'll just think, what's this idiot doing? You understand? Even my banter, even the way I am, because I really go from UK boy to Niger boy, like anytime, any place, you understand? So if I say something to you and you just be looking at me like, if I call you an odd day, I'll be like, babe, what's an odd day? You understand? Like, there's certain things that I just want to run smoothly. But then again, who am I? If God wants to give me one Chinese babe, how can I complain? If she's going to better my life, then she's going to better my life. Me personally, I will not look there. That's what I'm trying to say. Nigerians, Ghanaians, Zim, South African, you understand? But anything else, we're shopping.
Tino, you know me very well. You know how I roll. Alright? You know, I've dabbled in, stuff. Right?
my sister's husband, his family is very like church orientated, and he served the mission in Africa, so that was like he kind of gets the banter and stuff like that. So he understands the respect side of, calling your parents, certain names. Because I feel like with British culture, they just say by your name. My dad's like, you call either auntie, uncle, brother, sister. So there's a lot of cultural barriers, which why I don't think I'd bring in any other person who, unless they're black, because it's like they get me. And there's something beautiful about someone understanding you. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can share jokes that you understand. There's like, you can share stuff, and there's cultural stuff, and then there's this and there's that. And when they're black, they just get it. But I'm not reducing my own, I will fully experiment other things if the opportunity comes,
I'll explain it like this. I think, for the times we are in right now, with like racial tensions being high and all that kind of stuff, I think it's important to show strength and unity in the black community, because I don't think we've got a lot of examples of like strong black families. So in that respect, I think it's important for black men and black women a lot of time, I want to see more black men and black women together starting black families, you know, because we don't even make up like a lot of the population anyway. So I'd like to see more of that.
Yeah, it's very tricky. I think to a certain extent, yeah. Because obviously, if we've got different beliefs and it's something that really does affect me, then yeah, there might be a problem. So yeah, it just depends. However, I don't see anything wrong, like in looking at other races.
So Thor is still fine.
Who?
Thor.
Oh, please. Oof, yeah, he fine. Oh Lord, he took his time. Anyways, next. Yeah, he's fine.
No, it's not. It's not important. I mean, I think maybe if it meant that I had to like really change my lifestyle or anything like that, or like move to China, then I probably wouldn't be down. But yeah, like generally speaking, no, not at all.
Yeah, it is important to me. I'd like to marry a Gambian man, just simply because I'm Gambian. We share similar traditions and values, and it's things that I'd want to raise my children around. So yeah.
However, right, me myself being just like a free-spirited guy, I don't mind what colour you are, as long as you're just like a good person, nice person. You have the values I look for, you know. So yeah, it's a bit of like I'm sitting on the fence a bit, man. But you know, shout out to the white girls, man.
I am definitely not the best Christian or like world-class example. But what I can definitely tell you is God-fearing means you try to uphold everything in his word to the highest level quality possible to human being, to being a human being, if that makes sense. So if you are a God-fearing person, you will understand your position as a woman in life. Yeah. So I'm taking from feminism from the feminist concept of what I know today, of what you women have portrayed feminism to be, which is that I can do what a man can do. You cannot. Yeah? You cannot. And it's actually an insult for you to be putting yourself on the same level as men, because I see you women much more powerful than men.
You can be God-fearing, you can be successful, but if you don't have the other qualities that display, like you're not respectful, then your morals are just like you're a bit dysfunctional, then that makes you, then unfortunately you just don't qualify as a wife material, because what you deem as wife material might not be the same for the next guy.
You lot see stuff that we don't see, like we will never see. Do you understand? Like men were created to how can I say, to steer the ship, yeah, to provide everything, to make sure that ship sails. But you guys are meant to lead and guide that ship. You don't have vision. Do you understand? Even though a man should have vision for himself, but you lot are there to just bring insight to so many things, if that makes sense. I don't know. I think sometimes when all you know is church, you lose sight of reality and you forget to apply scripture to real life, if that makes sense.
Wow. I feel like this is something to do with a man's ego again. He wants to be God-fearing man, successful, while she's at home, maybe, I don't know, but she's like doing something lower than he is, if you know what I mean. I think that's the issue. It's with a man's ego.
I'll just hurt, bro. That's all, man.
know where to start. So is it because she works a lot and she loves God and they're not wife material? What kind of question is this? Well, do you not want your wife to be a businesswoman and God-fearing? That's like tick tick. You know what I mean? Like, let's get married tomorrow. I don't understand. What auntie and uncle wrote this question? Like,
No, I mean, I don't think that they're not per se. I think it's maybe just more they've got less time on their hands with it. Like they're like, maybe they take less shit as well because they're like powerful, I guess. I don't know. Fuck them.
Really? God-fearing, successful, hard-working women. I'd love a God-fearing woman. Maybe the hard-working women bit is just some men feeling intimidated. So, you know, some of these corporate females, you know, you see them in like a business suit and all that stuff, you know, they got their ish together. You know, some men might be like, ooh, all right, she ain't wifey material, because, I don't know, I think perception is that they're very for self, it's either their way or the highway, and some men feel like, well, she won't listen to me, so there's no point in wifey in that. Because as men, we got to be honest, right? We kind of want a woman to do what we tell them to. I mean, for me anyway. You know, not saying that what I tell them is always right, but like, you want to feel like you're the man of the household or relationship. And for some reason, corporate women get this bad rap that they don't listen to anybody but themselves. Which, I don't know. I don't really know any corporate black women, so I can't really speak on that. But I think that's the root of that.
If a strong man, though, like a real man, would not fear this type of woman, he'll go for it. A real man knows what he wants, and to him, like a God-fearing, successful woman will be wifey material. But to each their own. To each their own preference.
At the end of the day, God doesn't want you to be a nun or like, you know, how can I say, oh God, blah, blah, blah. Like, you understand, like there's still reality to things. You're still human. He knows you are human. Do you understand? So I just see Christianity as a set of principles that you need to apply to your life to be successful, to be peaceful, to be wealthy, and also to be healthy. That's how I see it anyway.
I don't. I don't know what anything to say. Like, I don't see it as a bad thing. I feel like we should embrace people that have women that have business and they're God fearing, bro. That's rare. That is so rare. It's not rare. I'm just making a statement. Why? I think maybe some people might not think they're wifey material because they won't have time for them. Insecure men, needy men, probably will have something to say about their woman being a businesswoman and God fearing, but mainly because she's a businesswoman, because that means she's gonna be away doing her own thing, and men like to have someone who's gonna be there to care for them, but if she's doing jobs he can't. Do you know what I mean? So I get why that would be a problem, but you find a middle ground, innit? Communication, you talk.
Yeah, that's my ex. If I've dealt with it, if I know I've dealt with it, and I'm not just with my new girl now, just out of life. There's a difference between just, okay, this has happened by, and there's a difference between, okay, this has happened, how do I feel about it? Let me, you know, go through the emotions of the whole breakup. They're two different things, if that makes sense. So, yeah, talking from a place where I've dealt with the emotions of breaking up with my ex, yeah, it's just not an issue.
That's not okay. What? How is that okay? First of all, where did your ex come from? The violation. Like, nah, it's not okay, man. You should cancel that wedding. Period. You have to cancel the wedding. Yeah, because she's dating her ex.
Huh?
Yeah, you're back
No,
together.
you are getting married and your friend starts dating your ex.
Oh.
Which ex? Come on, man. You know, there are good and bad apples in the tree. No, I'm pretty down with it, I guess. It depends which boy as well, though. First thing I'm going to say is make sure you're not better than me. But no, I mean, I think that's sweet, dude, to be honest. It's like, I don't need her anymore, so who cares? Enjoy. Always good to know that you fucked one of your mate's girls. So... And if any of you are watching, I fucked all your girls.
My girl, I'm guessing it's probably somebody like my best friend stuff. To me, that's betrayal. Because obviously, if we broke up, like, and there's some sort of animosity between me and the ex, then I wouldn't really expect you to, like, as my friend, like, I would trust, like, you're more loyal to me. I'll be very disappointed, extremely disappointed. But if that's your soulmate, then that's beyond me. I can't do anything about it. I'll just be disappointed. Yeah. If my girl does my ex, I'll just, yeah.
If I'm getting married, that means I'm moving on to a new chapter in my life. And if my girl's dating my ex is something from the past that I don't intend on bringing into this new chapter. So, to me, they can do as they like. They can do as they please. That's not really my girl, but it is what it is. Sometimes you need to leave people behind when you're starting on with something new in your life.
Why are you saying that's not your girl?
That's not, if you're dating, okay, if I'm dating someone and I tell my girl the hardships of dating that person, everything I'd been through with that person, and you know how he treated me or how our relationship went on, and you saw that like firsthand, and you choose to go date him, I think that's snaky, because you know how that relationship went on.
At the end of the day, this whole stupid thing about your boy can't date your ex, or I personally do not believe in it. I feel like it's stupid. Do you understand? That girl's gonna get married whether you like it or not. That boy just happens to be your boy, unfortunately. Do you understand? But don't dampen another man's happiness, man. If he's truly happy and he's not doing it out of spite or out of payback or I don't know, some dark place, life is life, man. Life is life.
They can pursue each other, that's none of my business, but I just won't be with them. Like, I didn't need to know about their relationship.
Sticking on still. Well, you should continue your marriage, innit? I don't think that should ever stop someone getting married. I'm sorry. But your friend is dating your ex. Now, wow. I'd obviously tell her, like, it wouldn't affect me because I have my husband now, innit? But it's just weird. Like, I just say be careful, Sha, because it's my ex for a reason. So, he might end up becoming your own ex. But obviously, you don't want to block people's blessings. Sometimes what's not right for you is right for them. But your friend, Sha, hey.
Bro, that's absolutely fine, man. Actually, no, I'm lying. That's a bit weird, bro. Because now I'm thinking, whilst I was with her, were you plotting this whole time? And are you plotting on my current wifey now? Do you know what I mean? So, nah, that's a bit messed up. I was about to go in the mindset of like, it ain't no fun if the homies can't get none. But, nah, that's foul. I'd be looking at my guy a bit side-eye like, how's this come about? Do you know what I mean? So, nah, you can't be my friend, bro. That's mad. That's one and done. Once I'm done, you're done. You know? Or we're done. Do you know what I mean? So, nah.
But at the end of the day, I would never fall out with her because I hate girls with their theatrics about, oh, girl code, oh, she couldn't.
No dating. Can't date my things, man.
Even though you're not married.
Yeah, I am married now, aren't I? Yeah, nah, man, because I wouldn't trust you. I just couldn't trust you. It's just on a trust thing. It's not like I'd be jealous, but it's just like, what won't you do? Do you know what I mean? You might be plotting on my wife. Nah, I just can't trust you, man.
But you have your husband there, why are you still trying to block your friend's blessings? If it didn't work out with you, let her be with him. Like, if he breaks her heart, you already told her you shouldn't have gone there, innit? But too many girls argue over stuff like that, and it's not nice.
I would react terribly. Like, what do you think you're doing? Why would you bring a third party into this marriage? Like, I think that's disrespectful. Like, I would not tolerate that whatsoever. I'd really question it. Like, why do I get married to this guy? Like, what's he thinking? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, what do you think you're doing here? Like,
Truthfully, I think I'd feel a little betrayed because I think that's the coolest thing that can happen in a relationship. And how does she know that that's the hooker I wanted? Maybe she's too expensive. I want to talk dollars. I want to talk cents. You know? Also, it's like, you gotta understand, okay, with hookers, it's always cheaper if you go to them. She's brought her into the house. What, are we stuck in the house? I can't drive at this stage? We could be getting an extra hour for the same price if we had just gone over there, and let alone we could have gotten a lineup or something. I just think that she's overstepping here and just like assuming, you know? I want to pick this is our first hooker together. Come on, let's do it together.
You know what's funny? I was on Bumble, right? And I was swiping. And one couple is like, we're looking for another girl. I said, yay, people actually do this. Wow. I was like, people actually like look for third wheelers to like come spice up. First of all, is your relationship with sex life that dead that you need a third person?
Oh, I am very sexually intrigued. Yeah, I'm down with that, I think, really. It depends on, it's like, yeah, I mean, if she's like going full lesbian, then I guess we need to address that. But if she's just like bi-curious, you know, I'm down for that. But also, like, not because I think I can get in that, but I'm like, I think you should experiment with that. That could be lit. I'm into that as well. So it's like, I think everyone's into that. But yeah, that's cool. That's sweet. That changes everything.
So you're not disappearing?
Well, she can't get pregnant with another woman, can she? So
Both of them will leave the house. I don't know what you mean by that. Why is there no spice inside? When did the spice go? Why didn't you tell me? Because the last time you were making noise when we were doing something. What happened to the noise? You didn't tell me. Communicate. Sex is between us. There shouldn't be third party things. You understand? This is not third party insurance. The sex is us. You understand? So if there's a problem, let me know. Then I will spice, or you can spice it. Because sometimes the spice is, you're missing the spice. It's not always the guy. You understand? So yeah, that's nonsense. I don't believe in that one. That one can never happen.
look, okay, let me set the record straight. I will fuck the hooker regardless, and I will be happy about it. But I'm just saying there will be a conversation had afterwards, and yeah, I mean, if she's ugly, actually, that's kind of funny, because it's like, I mean, maybe that shows my wife, like my wife knows that I'm into her, so it's like, and she maybe has a poor view of herself, so she's like, he's into ugly chicks, like but maybe that's like an underlying self-confidence issue with her as well. So that's a bit interesting. But yeah, either way, I'm gonna fuck the hooker, and it's gonna be sweet.
Has she been tested? First and foremost, yeah, you just bring some stray animals to my house, yeah, and ask it, let's spice things up. We have spices in the kitchen, yeah. So like, and first of all, I think it's something you got to discuss. You got to discuss something like this, yeah. You know, what was I saying earlier? Open dialogue, yeah. We need to not just do things. We have to discuss.
Probably, I would advise against probably surprising your partner with a hooker if those are your views. I think that if those are your views, then maybe steer clear of hookers altogether, because that isn't for you. I don't think that there's a way around that. You can't tiptoe around bringing a hooker into the relationship. You know, it's a very sort of black and white thing. I think if you're gonna have any like reservations about it, probably don't do it. Or do it. Nah, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, nah, you can't be bringing no random hooker home. I mean, the sentiment's nice, but, you know, and am I paying for this? By the hour? See, we didn't discuss that. We didn't discuss price. Do you know what I mean? These are important details, man. Yeah.
Ooh, it just depends. Ooh, God. To me, that's a very not even a bit. That's you just being disrespectful. Because honestly, it's something that we have to talk about before you just bring the hooker home. Because I didn't consent to that. Had I consented to that, then you bring the hooker home. That's different. So, yeah, I'll be very disappointed, angry.
Nah. This is very, I don't like that, man. Why don't I get a say in it? If it's our, sex life. Nah. We have to discuss and then, we move forward, yeah. No hookers though, bro. Hooker what? Nah, no. Why hookers? I think it'd be better like maybe a friend or something like that. Hookers is just, mm-mm.
You can't just bring somebody home and tell me, honey, we're gonna spice up things. You tell me when it's just the two of us and we both agree to say, yeah, sure. Like, I got more mentally prepared for it than if somebody just shows up. Like, I wouldn't be very happy with that.
I start looking at my partner like, I think we need something that we need to separate, because I feel like your sex should bang. Like, you shouldn't need someone else to come in. What are you trying to spice? Buy toys if you want to spice up relationship. Do strap-ons and I don't know, whatever. Obviously, if you're lesbian, innit? Do strap-ons. Go do 50 Shades of Grey type things. Spice it up like that. So for me, I think I'd question our relationship first, because it's like, am I deadbeat then? Do you know what I mean? Which is not a problem, because some people might find your sexual antics in a bed more exciting than your husband or boyfriend that you have currently. But yeah, nah, it's not for me. I don't want to share my man.
Well, we're paying her. I can give you attention later. Come on.
No, it's not gonna join either way. Please go back home. We'll just pay you if my husband has promised any money. We'll give you money, you go home.
No. We're getting our money's worth.
No thanks.
Would you be offended?
I wouldn't. Kind of. I was like, yo, like, what do you want me to do that I'm not doing? Do you know what I mean? Let's talk about this. Like, I wouldn't judge him, because I feel like guys sometimes kind of wonder in terms of imagination. But I'd just be like, what do you want from me? Like, what can we do to make it more exciting? I'd rather him talk to me so I can better the way I pleasure him. Do you know what I mean? Not bring someone else to try and do my job. Are you mad?
I would say do your research. There's a bigger market out there for hookers than you probably think. But look, at the same time, you can't just get one hooker. But yeah, have a look around, man. There's a lot of fine women out there making a very good living. So yeah, support the industry, man. Hell yeah, do it.
That would just run so well. That would be so funny, because man said, hey, Oga, you because you poked now, so obviously that's extra, extra additional to the additional fund. Don't worry, I'll send you the bill.